It was the summer before 9th grade. I was at my friend's family pool party, and there were tons of people there. At one point,
I'll be right back.
while my friend, Lily, she went to get some sodas for us, a man came up to me. I didn't recognize him. But since it was my friend's party, it made sense for me to not know everyone there. He smiled and looked at me. I stepped backwards, feeling uncomfortable.
Hello.
He said, Hi? I replied.
What's your name?
I mean, a first name wouldn't hurt, seeing as we were surrounded by people in my friend's backyard. I'm Carly. What's yours?
Rick.
He replied smoothly.
I'm Lily Parent's friend.
He continued, stepping closer to my face. His breath smelled like alcohol, even though it was early in the day. I grew even more uncomfortable and stepped away, waving goodbye awkwardly. When I turned around, he was gone. I told Lily about this, and she mentioned it to her parents. Her parents said that they didn't know any Rick. It kind of freaked me out, but they told me that it could have been one of their friends who brought him over. So I shrugged it off and assumed everything was fine. After the party ended, Lily's parents had gone to visit her elder sister. So we were home alone with her elder brother. We had a sleepover at her house. Lily and I were chatting in her bedroom when her dad called her. He asked her to go out and turn off the pool lights, since he had forgotten. Lily agreed, and we stepped outside into the backyard. I waited on the back texting a friend while she went to turn off the pool lights. Once she was finished, we stepped back inside, locking the door, and went back upstairs to continue chatting through the night. At one point, Lily asked me to close the curtains, and when I did, I looked outside, and I noticed that all the pool lights were on again. Lily? I asked, getting a strange feeling. You turned off the pool lights, right?
Yeah, I did.
She replied, and coming to look. Now, there was a figure swimming in the pool, even though we couldn't see his face.
It's probably just Cody.
Lily replied, speaking of her brother.
Come on, let's go and see what he is doing.
We walked down to the pool. We could see the top of his head in the water. We were going to call out for him. Then, I looked up at one of the windows of the house. The curtains were open. Suddenly, I saw Cody in his bedroom. I grasped Lily's arm, and we both knew the person in the pool was not Cody. We forgot our phones in the room, and if we ran back around, there was a chance the stranger could see us before we got back to the house. We tried to wave to Cody, but he couldn't see us. Suddenly, the splashing in the pool stopped. My heart dropped, and I could hear each of my panicked heartbeats. Someone pushed me into water, and I screamed. I looked up, and there was Rick. His facial expression reminded me that I'd never seen someone with such a creepy smile. I yelled, and soon my mouth was filled with water. As he chucked me in the pool, and he actually held me underwater, I choked for breath and realized he had grabbed Lily's arm as well. Somehow, Lily managed to kick him in the face hard enough to run away, slamming the door behind her. He continued to hold me laughing as I tried for breath. Just as I felt I was about to die, police sirens were heard on surface. He went away. I crawled out of the pool. When I wake up, police came and questioned me, but he was never found. I will never forget that moment. I thought I was truly going to die. From then on, I've been terrified to be outside at night, especially in a pool. I will never forget those creepy, unfocused eyes. There once was a 15-year-old named Donna. Her mother died when she was very young, and it was just her and her dad ever since. Living in a peaceful suburb, they had grown incredibly close over the years. They would always know what the other was thinking, and even feel when the other was near. Some joked that they were psychically connected. One morning, Donna and her father were having breakfast. He stopped eating and said,
"I've got a meeting later today. I'll be home late, so don't wait for me."
He left some cash for her to order dinner, kissed her on the head, and headed out the door. Later that day, Donna came back home from school. Usually her dad would be home from work at this time, so it was weird coming home to such a still and quiet house. So she sat at the kitchen table and started to do some homework. Suddenly, she felt a sharp pain in her neck. It went away as quickly as it came, so she decided to ignore it. Ow! Her neck stung again. The pain was getting more and more intense. She ran to the freezer to grab an ice pack to place it on her neck. The pain began to fade away. I wonder what that was all about, she thought to herself. It was now 8 o'clock, and still no word from her dad. She figured she could wait up a little longer for him, and decided to order some pizza. Hi, I'd like to make an order. Yeah, sure. I can wait.
The killer is still on the loose. The police are recommending everybody lock their doors and windows and not answer the door for anybody, especially at night.
Hi, can I get a large pepperoni pizza? It was getting pretty late, and she began to doze off on the couch and dream. In her dream, she was a little girl again, in the house she used to live in when her mom was still alive. Donna was sitting at the kitchen table, and she looked over the kitchen, where a woman with her back turned was making breakfast. Mom? The woman turned around. It was her mother. She walked over to the table and placed a bowl of cereal in front of Donna. She whispered in her ear,
Don't open the door.
What? Suddenly, she found herself standing on the side of a busy highway. Cars flying past her. She could hear someone calling her name in the distance.
Donna.
Across the highway, she began to make out a figure. It was her dad. Dad, I can't hear you. Where are you?
Donna, don't open the door. Don't open the...
Hiring? Aren't you tired of hoping the right candidates see your job posts and apply? It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. That's why you should try
Donna sat up on the couch. What a weird dream. It felt so real. The doorbell rang again. Oh, my food's here. She stood up and started walking towards the door. It was a lot darker outside than she remembered. How long was I asleep for? She looked at her phone. It was 1 a.m. She called up the stairs. Dad, are you home? No answer. The doorbell began to ring more persistently. Dad, is that you? She went to the door and looked through the peephole. Dad? It was her dad. She went to slide the lock open, but quickly locked the door again. Something wasn't right. She didn't have that feeling when she knew her dad was nearby. Then, she remembered her father's voice from her dream.
Donna, don't open the door.
She looked through the peephole again. Dad, are you okay? Did you forget your keys? Is someone there with you? Dad, why are you acting really weird? The doorbell kept ringing louder and louder. I need you to answer me. I'm not opening this door until you answer me. The ringing went on and on and on. She didn't know what to do. Eventually, she collapsed on the floor in fear and ended up falling asleep next to the front door. Donna woke up the next morning in front of the door. The doorbell had stopped ringing. Dad, are you home? No reply. She looked inside the peephole. Her dad was still there, staring at her just as he had the night before. She carefully opened the door and froze. Her father's head stared back at her. On the ground was a note.
I know you're all alone now.